been struggling with acne for about 15 years. Sometime in high school, I started breaking out, and it was challenging because a lot of the prescription medications or like the programs, regimens they have out there, I would try them out and they would kind of work. Nothing ever really cleared me out completely. But the frustrating part was they would all stop working after some time. Self-esteem wise, quite honestly, nobody likes looking in the mirror and seeing acne on your face. It's your face. It's the one thing you look at every time that you look in a mirror, and you can't really hide it, right? You meet someone and they're going to, look at your face and you feel like that's what they're looking at. I mean, I tried a lot of those regimen systems that they sell on TV and online. I started with Proactive. I moved up to Murad. Those were kind of my high school and early college years. And then in college, I started seeing dermatologists, so I tried almost everything that they have to offer as well. I did the antibiotics, which later as I did research, I found out was a really bad thing to do for my health. I tried the tropical creams, the prescription creams, the retinoids. I tried everything dermatology-wise or prescription-wise except Accutane. When it came to be that more than one doctor was saying that Accutane was my only choice left is when I knew there had to be something else. Well, I had actually done a lot of research on my own for maybe about 6 months on what really causes acne. Quite honestly, a lot of the doctors were telling me that there was no cause, or they didn't know the cause. And, a lot of the medications I knew they were giving me were really to treat a symptom. So, deep inside, I knew that couldn't be it. I myself am an engineer, so I kind of think about things like, no, there's a cause for everything. There's a reason things happen. So I started to do a lot of research myself. I read some books, lots of research online, and I found that it's usually some internal cause that is showing up as a symptom on your skin, right? So whether it's digestive or hormonal, there's some sort of imbalance in your body that is showing up on your skin as your skin's doing its job, which is releasing toxins. And I kind of knew what I had to do, and kind of change my diet and look into supplements and, try and find what that imbalance was. But I wanted some help and some guidance. So I started looking for specifically a holistic dermatologist. I'm a fan of holistic practitioners, and there are a few in my area that are just general doctors, and I know what they're about, looking at your imbalances and what your body needs. But I wanted someone that also had some experience in skin and acne so they could tie both of them together. And I kept coming across Dr. Dattner is like the only one, that I tried so many ways to search for it. And I'm like, oh, but he's in New York. And until I remember I read an article somewhere where somebody mentioned that they Skyped with him. I think it was somebody else's testimony. I'm like, he Skypes. So I'm like, that's amazing. And I sent a request. And sure enough, I got a phone call back, and that's how we got connected. I have to say the change was amazing. I had already started kind of documenting what I ate. So he had a lot to go on from the beginning, and right away he looked at my diet and he looked at my lifestyle, and he's like, well, we got to stop all of this, and just eliminate all these foods, and I'm going to give you some supplements to further detoxify your body and further help your body, kind of just rebalance. And we talked a lot about hormonal balance, and he gave me some supplements to start there. And it was amazing. It was kind of just like cleaned out my diet, and I started following his regimen. And within a month, it was like using a new prescription medicine. It takes about 4 to 6 weeks before you start to see a change. Well, it was the same thing, just by eliminating certain foods from my diet and starting to take in some supplementation that I knew wasn't medication that was deteriorating another part of my body. It was actually helping. But I didn't get completely clear right away. But the difference between the first phone call and the second phone call was amazing. I had started to clear up. and all by just kind of changing my diet and taking some supplements. A lot of my friends ask me, well, why don't you just take the Accutane, or why don't you just take the next new medicine? Two big reasons. One, I know that the medications sometimes stop working, like you build up a tolerance to them. And two, they do yield some harm to your body. Any medicine that you take has, some sort of reaction, right? It really attacks your liver and, your reproductive system. At the moment, you can't have kids. There's some negative side effects, but eating healthier, really what I did, or what helped me do, was eliminate foods from my diet that were not good for me. It takes some time for your body to recuperate and to heal again. I've got to say, I tell some friends of mine, I've always been a very thin person, very high metabolism, I guess you would call it. I could honestly eat whatever I wanted and not gain weight, and I think a lot of people would look at me and say, that's amazing, that's awesome, I wish I had that, and I never kind of thought twice about it. I did eat a lot of junk food. I did eat a lot of really bad food, because I could, and I didn't see the effect. But there was an effect, I just wasn't connecting it, and it was my acne. So I tell, my friends and people that look at me and they're like, why do you need to eat that way? I say, because eating bad foods still has an effect on you no matter what. We mostly think that it's weight gain and obesity, but some people like myself, there's other effects. There could be diabetes or acne or other diseases that come later. So when I stopped eating those foods, I did also feel a change in myself. I felt a great increase in energy, in positiveness. Like, it's amazing, like, just my attitude in general. I seem to be happier and more energetic. I did lose some weight, but that I didn't think I had to lose, but I think my body composition changed as well. I work out a lot, and I have for the last few years, but I noticed I had more energy to train harder, like more fuel, and I started to build more muscle, which is something I've always struggled with. So my body composition itself, instead of just being kind of skinny and maybe wimpy, turned into stronger and leaner. And definitely, like I said, I feel like I have a lot more energy. I'm really a more positive person now. I'm just like happier in general. And I think that's just because like the hormones are also better balanced, So it not only changed my life in that saying, okay, my face is clear, but it added so many other positive values to my life as to how I feel now. It is a little more expensive to go this route sometimes because, sadly, eating whole foods, like eating fresh vegetables and fruits and fresh meats that are not processed, is more expensive than eating processed foods. You can go to McDonald's and get a whole meal for like $3, but if you want to go and buy yourself a good, chicken breast with a side of vegetables, and that's maybe organic or just pure, it's a chicken breast, what's in it, that's way more expensive, So, and the supplementation itself is expensive as well. But I think though about all of the money that I did spend trying other things that's on their own that didn't work. Like the time that I spent, doing different laser treatments or peels, or, that was more money in itself because none of that was working. I think this route can seem a little more expensive, but I think it's a better investment into just one's health. I see a healthier life. I think of a lot of the diseases that come on later in life, like diabetes and cancers and high cholesterol and heart issues. A lot of those things come about from bad diet habits, right? Consuming a lot of processed food and over consuming on grains and sugars and dairies. And I think I see myself in the next, 20, 30 years eliminating a lot of those things that over time just build up and turn into diseases. Acne is, I think, not so much a disease, but it's a symptom or a warning. It's really hard to give up some foods that you think you love and you think you need to eat every day. It's hard not to, go out with your friends and watch them, overconsume on things that you're like, no, I used to eat those things, but I don't want to eat them anymore. To change your lifestyle to something healthier, but it is so worth it because you will feel amazing. So it is so worth it for the way that you're going to feel, for the new way and new perspective you're going to have on life and for the future that you're making for yourself. I mean, it's an investment in your body. You've got one body and you've got one life, and sure, it may sound like, oh, well, I've got one body and I've got one life. I want to spend it eating chocolate every day. But when you stop eating chocolate and you start finding that just feeling great and just going out and having energy to do stuff brings you even more joy than eating chocolate. You can find that same joy in other things. And the most amazing thing is you stop craving those things so much as well. You get to a point where you'll have a piece of fruit, some pineapple, a banana, and they're amazing. They're like the sweetest things ever, and you'll find just as much, even more happiness and just feeling great, than you will in eating a candy bar. It's really hard to explain to someone what changing your diet does to your mood. It really does change your mood. It really does make you a happier person. And I think I'd rather go through life happy and enjoying everything in life than feeling sluggish and feeling sick and living. I mean, you could go through life sick or you could go through life healthy. And there's so many other things to enjoy than just eating junk food, truly. And I know a lot of my friends that thought I was crazy, and they're like, you're going to stop eating what? And you're not going to get any nutrition. And I'm like, no, I'm going to stop eating the things that don't provide any nutrition and start eating things that only provide nutrition, and they did not think that I could possibly clear up by only changing my diet, and adding some supplements to help my body along the way. And if some of them hadn't seen me in a few months, they look at me now and they're like, oh my God, wow, your skin looks amazing. Like it glows. Like I don't wear makeup anymore. Like
Wow.
I don't, and because I love the way my skin looks without makeup, it looks healthy. It radiates and they think I'm wearing makeup, and I'm like, no, I'm not wearing makeup. Like your skin should glow, and it will glow if you eat the right stuff for it. So they're like, okay, maybe you were right. That was just, my neck right there.
Wow.
And if I do that for you now,
Wow.
there's just nothing there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
In no means I'm saying that, medicines are bad for you. I'm just saying, ask the question, is this medicine treating the symptom or is this medicine treating the cause? I wish more people knew that there are other ways besides medication that take care of symptoms. Like a lot of the stuff that we feel, that we see, they're usually symptoms of something going on in your body, and you can hush them up with some medicine, or you can really ask the question, why am I feeling this, or why am I seeing this, and get it at the root.